Hello everyone, Hailey here. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I am a student at UCLA who has been through the application not once, but twice. Once as a senior in high school and the second time as a transfer student at community college in California, in which I was definitely more successful than the first time. But chances are, if you're watching this video right now, you're probably not too happy with your current college situation. And I have some words for high school seniors and I have some words for transfers, so stay tuned if you fit into either of those categories. I'm going to start off with the high school seniors today, and I just want to begin by saying I understand your situation completely. I totally empathize with that because when I was in high school, I went to a private all-girls high school where there was a lot of pressure to go away to a four-year university once you graduated, and that was not the situation that I found myself in. I was personally rejected from every single school that I applied to for a plethora of reasons, mainly because my grades were not good enough, but didn't really matter anyway for me because I couldn't afford to go to college, realistically. But maybe you're in the situation where you're a really strong student and you had like a 4.0 or close to it, or maybe even above, and you did all these extracurriculars, and you're still finding that you got rejected from many schools. You're not alone. This happens to tons of people every year. This happened to some of my very close friends who are very, very academically oriented people. And the truth of the situation, especially if you applied to like UC schools, is that there are just so many applicants and so few spaces. So your applicant pool for freshmen is huge. There are so many people competing for a limited number of spaces, which you probably figured out by now. So I know a lot of you are encouraged to apply to like, what did they say, like target, reach, and what is like safety schools or something like that. And you know, maybe you got into none of the schools, maybe you got into the safety schools, but you're not crazy about them. And here's why I would discourage you from settling. You can still go to the top university that you want to go to, which is maybe considered a reach school right now, just not right now. And the way to do that is to go to a community college. Now, I know there's a lot of stigma surrounding community college, but listen to me, I went to community college for 3 years. I know many people have gone through community college and who have successfully transferred onto four-year universities. As I said at the beginning of this video, I am now a student at UCLA. So community college is a great option for you, not only because anyone could get into community college and later on transfer into UC, but because it is going to save you a ton of money. So why is community college going to give you an edge over going to one of your safety schools? Community college has much higher transfer admit rates. You are competing against a way smaller group of people, so your chances of getting in are a lot higher. Whereas in high school, you're probably looking around like maybe 10 to 20% at a top university. In community college, you're going to be looking closer to 30% admit rate, and that could be even higher depending on your major. For example, for my major, applied linguistics, the admit rate is between, I think, 40 to 44%. So that's pretty high. You could look at it this way. You could pay a couple $1,000 to go to a community college, get your general education out of the way, and then transfer to a top university. Or you could spend double or almost triple that at a school that you're not crazy about, and at the end of the day, you didn't get exactly the college experience that you wanted. So the reason that community college is going to be a better situation for you to be in is because if you are one of those people who plans on transferring, people ask me about this all the time. They're like, I got into this school, but I really want to go to this school. Should I go to my safety school or should I go to community college? The reason that you should always consider going to community college over the safety schools because community college is intended for students to transfer. Students who go to community college have not had a chance to go to a four-year university yet. Students who are at their safety school are already at a four-year university. Schools like UCLA, UC Berkeley, UC San Diego, Irvine, Davis, they are going to prioritize community college students for the simple fact that they have not had the chance to pursue an education at a four-year university yet. And many of these schools offer direct agreements and direct pathways into the school that will help you transfer very easily. That's not the case with a CSU. If you're trying to apply to it, if you're trying to transfer from a CSU to a UC, you're going to have a really hard time. All in all, I think community college is a great opportunity. I think you guys should consider it. If you want to hear more about community college and my experience with community college, there are a few videos that I will have suggested up here in the upper right hand corner, so go ahead and click on those. Now moving over to the transfers. So my transfers, my dear transfers, many of you are probably my subscribers. I just want to apologize that you're in this situation, but I also think that this is a great opportunity for you to reflect on your application process. So this is a time where you want to ask yourself a lot of questions. What could you have done differently on your application? Did you apply to a major that was really not aligning with the current GPA that you have? And I'm not saying that GPA is everything. GPA is definitely not everything, especially when you're coming in as a transfer student. But if you are looking at a major where the average admit has a 3.7 and you have a 3.2, you need to be honest with yourself and think that that is a pretty big gap between those two. And there is a way to work through that, and it is to take an extra year in community college and take more classes and try to raise that GPA and apply again next year. And another thing is, a lot of people ask me, like, how many classes should I have completed? Not in terms of IGETSI, but in terms of their actual major requirements. Because a lot of people don't want to spend 2 years at community college, and I understand that. You want to get in and get out as quick as you can, but it's just not realistic in most situations. It is difficult sometimes to even graduate or transfer within 2 years. I took 3 years. So many people I know are taking 3 years. I get this question all the time. Can I transfer successfully to a top university without completing all of my major requirements? And generally the answer is most likely no. Major requirements is one of the biggest factors that I know UC looks at when they're deciding who to admit and who to deny. And the reason for that is because the pre-major requirements, the prereqs, whatever you want to call it, that is a direct indication of how your performance will be at the university that you transfer to in your major. So you need to have as many of those completed. If you only have 2 or 3 out of 10 completed, they're not able to judge whether you're a strong applicant and whether you're going to be able to perform well at the university level in that major. If there's a situation like maybe your school does not offer some of the pre-major requirements that you need to get into that major, that is very common, and UC is very aware of that. The thing that you need to do, though, as an applicant is use your additional comment section on your UC application to explain why you're unable to take those classes. They're not offered at my school, they're not offered at my school's sister school, because many community colleges do have sister schools that you can take classes at for the same amount of credit, and it will transfer and everything's fine and dandy. On a side note, in terms of explanation, let's talk about personal insight questions. Your personal insight questions are paramount. Next to your coursework, this is probably one of the biggest factors in admissions. The reason is that it gives context to your application, and I've said this in so many videos. If you're new to my channel, maybe you haven't heard this. If you are familiar with my channel, you've probably heard this before, but it's really important to take this to heart because this is what enables the admissions committee to get to know who you are, not only as a student, but as a person, and they're really interested in the people that they're admitting. I get so many people. November 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th. Can you review my essay? I just wrote it. No. You should have been working on it a long time ago. I'm not here to lecture you guys and say, well, the reason you didn't get in is because you winged your essay. The point is, your essay requires a lot of preparation, and I think if you give yourself a second chance and you try to apply again next year, but you work on your personal insight questions over the summer, you're gonna find that not only do you feel so much more confident about them, but you will be able to submit that application and feel good about what you submitted, and you will most likely, can't guarantee 100%, I don't work for the admissions committee, but you will most likely see better results. Like I said, I'm not here to lecture you guys. I'm not here to make you feel bad because I already know how you feel. I already know you feel very disappointed, and you know, I don't know what everyone's situation is. Sometimes the school just cannot admit as many people as they want to, even if you're a perfectly qualified applicant, but that's why I would definitely encourage you guys to apply a second time around if you haven't already. And I'm not here to sugarcoat it either. I know it sucks. Point blank, it just sucks. It's a bad situation to be in, but I am here to support you guys. If there's anything that you need from me, please leave your questions below in the comments. I'm happy to answer them. I also have almost 60 other videos on my channel that you can check out about things that are really related to the concept of applications and admissions and rejections and all that stuff. So please give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe. If you have questions, like I said, leave them down below. I usually respond within a day or two, and I hope that this kind of gives you guys some clarity about what to do next, and I will see you guys next Saturday at 3 p.m. Bye!